He is an Australian with a dream that he's frothing to accomplish. Tommy Wood joins me this week on...
I'm Bob Cobb from the Bassmaster. Welcome to Mercer.
Yep, we're going to do this again. Welcome one, welcome all, friends, family, freeloaders, fishing freaks, and of course, you, my humpers. Happy hump day and welcome into the Awkwardly Honest Fishing Podcast that goes by my last name, which is Mercer. This is the 222nd edition of the Mercer Podcast, and I hope you are all having a wonderful, wonderful week. First of all, for those of you watching the video version of this, that was... that little 222 was ripped off of Chuck Woolery. And I'd like to thank Chuck Woolery from Love Connection, an angler, which is pretty cool. But I'd like to thank him for the hand gestures that got us into this week's show. This week's show is a fun one, a inspirational one. If you love inspirational stories, if you love the story, did you love Rocky? I mean, a movie about somebody who's accomplishing something that they shouldn't really accomplish, that everybody says you're nuts to even try, but they still accomplish it? Well, you'll enjoy this week's show because that's the kind of story we're going to share here this week. And some of you might be saying, who in the hell is Tommy Wood? Well, I'll tell you who Tommy Wood is. Tommy Wood is an Australian that is trying to follow in Carl Jacobson's footsteps and do something that only one other person has ever done in history, and that's be an Australian and qualify for the Bassmaster Elite Series. Tommy Wood is literally living in a van down by the river, chasing his dreams. And it's awesome to me to see. And this week's podcast was not an easy one. I mean, we had to rob Wi-Fi from McDonald's. There was times where we lost said Wi-Fi. It was an emotional roller coaster for us recording it. There was times where there was an echo. The audio was off. But I think we'll have it all polished up nice. And here's the best part. It's a great conversation with a great dude and somebody that you want to keep an eye on. Because I'm going to throw it out here and make a prediction. Tommy Wood will make the Bassmaster Elite Series. I don't know when, but I believe Tommy Wood will make the Bassmaster Elite Series because I also believe in Tommy Wood's head, not making the Bassmaster Elite Series is not an option. This is an incredible story. Buckle up, get some popcorn, pour some Java, enjoy Tommy Wood as we hook up with him in a McDonald's parking lot. Tommy Wood, you're in a van in Virginia, and I don't know if this is a badge of honor or says a lot about this show, but you're not the first guest that we've interviewed in a van.
Oh, really? I thought I'd definitely be the first. You're kidding.
No. KJ Queen in the Queen Machine. And the best part about the whole podcast, and don't make this mistake, this is a tip and a story all wrapped up in one. He does the whole podcast and he's done. And I mean, he lives in North Carolina, but as soon as we're done recording, he's like starts taking off all his clothes. He's like, ugh. And I'm like, well, what is wrong? He's like, I am sweltering hot. I guess his air conditioning wasn't working and he was sitting in his truck in North Carolina in the middle of the summer and he sweat the whole way through. And I said, well, why didn't you just take your hoodie off? Like, why didn't you? He goes, because I have a non-sponsored shirt underneath. So he's willing to suffer for his craft. Let's just put it that way.
Oh, man, that's a big error. Yeah, I've got the AC running in here for sure because it is stinking hot outside.
Yeah. You're still dealing with like how long have you been back in America now?
I only flew in here last week, so I just had a 2-month gap. We had like 3 months off in the Open, so took the time to fly home and go work for 2 months, and it was good. You know, I got some cash behind me again, so definitely helps because to stay longer, to stay for 12 months, it would have cost me, you know, X amount more, and then living costs here while I can't work, it just goes through the roof. So definitely worth heading back. Got some cash on my belt now again and ready to roll for the rest of the season.
What do you do to amass cash cash quickly in 2 months. Are you a manservant?
Yeah. I may look like one, but no. No, my dad owns a business back in Australia, and we do like marine electronics. So we sell Garmin, and we do all sort of boat fit outs, all electrical stuff. So I've got a job there to jump straight into in off season and stuff to earn some money. And I also did like a live scope training thing. So I took people out to show them how to catch barramundi with live scope, and I had like probably 8 or 9 people sign up straight away. I booked out a week, and they all paid good money, and they knew what it was for, and they all showed up, and we had a good time and made some extra money. So it was good.
Awesome. I know this is weird, but like instantly you've turned off some people to you just by talking about, you're obviously a live scope guy. Is that the same in Australia? Like, is there anti-live scopers in Australia, or is it just a North American thing?
No, there definitely is some stigma in Australia. Like it's not as bad, I'd say, as over here. I've definitely seen the bad side of it here. Like there's a lot of stuff online about it, but in Australia now it's pretty readily accepted because it's like so much fun, I guess. And our fish, those barramundi, like we used to go out fishing for a day, and if you get 1 or 2, that's a good day. So it's changed our odds a little bit now, and we can catch 5 or 6 to have a good day, and even up to 10 if you have a really good day. So it's definitely helped the game over there for everyone.
Wow. So do barramundi, I mean, in the muskie world, there's a lot of pushback on it because it's a bigger fish. So I would assume just even a simple-minded person like me would be like, a bigger fish is a bigger target, which is easier to find. Muskie guys are real up in arms because that very thing happened. They went from catching 1 fish to catching, in some situations, 10 fish and a lot of giants. Is there any concern in the barramundi world that will affect it?
Yeah, guys are sort of concerned about it, but the good thing is like all of our lakes are stocked with fish, so they put in like between 10,000 to 500,000 fingerlings like every year in these lakes. So we got like a fresh stock, huge numbers growing through all the time. And, you can definitely tell the pressures there now, like with the barra, like you'll see one every 10 minutes if you're in a good area. And like, if you cast and it lands like 20 feet away from them too loud, they will just turn the other way and bolt. Like it is so hard to get a lure near them. So we're definitely seeing the effect of it now, but it just it's sort of bringing out some more techniques where you got to be a bit more quiet, stealthy, and it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, enough about forward-facing sonar. It seems to wind its way into every freaking conversation.
Conversation.
It's impossible not to have it as part of the conversation. But how ridiculous is this? First of all, tell me what your dream is.
What's that? Sorry, just broke up.
What is your dream? What are you doing here?
Oh, it's crazy. I'm trying to make the Bassmaster Elite Series, and we're halfway through the Open season at the moment, so we're getting after it. But it's been a dream of mine since I was a kid, and watching Carl for years, and he smashed it. Like he did such a great job, and he's like influenced a lot of kids over in Australia. Like so many people want to do it now, and I just thought, like 5-10 years ago, I was like, I'm just going to set 2025 as a goal. I'm going to come over here, fish the Opens, and just see how we go, have a crack at it. And, if things work out, stay for a bit longer, fish the next year. And fast forward 2025, here we are fishing the Open. So, but yeah, it was good. I got to meet Carl and Gussie in, I think it was 2022 when they came over for the Barra Tour. And like, those guys were awesome. Like I got to stay with them at a Airbnb with Steve Morgan and Nicole, and it was good because Carl sort of gave me a plan. He said, "This is what you need to do," and I wasn't planning to go until 2025. He's like, "You need to come over for 3 months in 2023 as a co-angler, get after it, like start learning, making contacts and stuff." And I was like, "Okay, looks like we're doing it." And it was just good that it lined up with the Classic, that he made the Classic, and like flew straight to Knoxville. Got to see Gussie win the Classic there, and like straight after that, Gussie gave me a handful of rods to use for the 3 months and a prop box full of tackle, and Carl hooked me up with a heap of rods and tackle as well, and then I was off on fishing the co-angler stuff. So It's been crazy.
It's a pretty insane dream, even with Carl kind of blazing the trail. I mean, you're on the other side of the world searching for Wi-Fi to do a podcast in a van, chasing something that's tough for people who live right here to accomplish. Like, have you always been a guy who chases the stuff that people say? I mean, people at home must say this is ridiculous.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like all the time I tell people and they're like, you're doing what? Trying to fish for a living? But I just can't really stop at a point and get comfortable. I have to like always have like some really high goal to sort of push towards. I got to keep like going after something. And it was good. Like since like being a teenager to like my mid-20s, I was fishing all the tournaments in Australia and I had a lot of goals there I wanted to accomplish, and I started to tick a lot of those boxes, and I was like, what's the next big thing? Is like going to the States. Like I always wanted to do it, and I thought, I think it's time. We'll go give it a shot. And it's been an eye-opener, like learn a lot of life lessons, but it's also been unreal. Like every time, like I was driving through Virginia today, I'm just a kid from Australia in a van. I got a bass boat in the back, and I'm just thinking, how the hell am I even here? Just crazy.
It is bizarre. It's bizarre, but I mean, you're not the only one. And, you know, obviously Carl's done what he's done. We've seen Japanese anglers do what they've done. I mean, the Canadians have made an impact, but I mean, they don't have to fly to get here.
Yeah.
They can literally drive to go to another country and just do what you're doing. Do you have a backup plan, or is this everything?
Yeah, like I do have a backup plan, but it doesn't appeal to me at all. Like I can go back and wire boats for the rest of my life, but like this is what I want to do, and like I just want to do everything I can in my muscles to make it happen. But yeah, it's definitely crazy once you start flying over here. Like those flights from Australia, I think some of the stints you do are 16 hours on one plane, and then there's connecting flights 3 to 4 hours each. And by the time you pack everything up at home, sell everything, sell your car, most of your clothes and all your old fishing stuff, and then you move over here, you got all your stuff and you're trying to set up a life here. It is like it's a mission in itself just doing that. So it's been crazy.
Yeah, I feel horrible. I mean, the flights alone, I've always wanted to go to Australia. Carl's given me some opportunities, and literally the flights have been like, never mind everything you're overcoming while you're here. But to me, I think halfway through a 16-hour flight, I would have to punch the guy beside me because he was blinking too loud. Like,
yeah, you get some bad like experiences on planes. Like I've had some really good ones and really bad ones. Like I think my last flight home when I left in end of May, I had this guy sit next to me and he was massive. He was taller than me and we're shoulder to shoulder. And it was like I think this flight was about 4 hours and he was like falling asleep and his head was starting to come over to my side a little bit. And I thought, oh, this is getting bad. But
that should be an ad campaign. A picture of Tommy Wood with a big man drooling on your chest and the Bassmaster dream. How bad do you want it?
Yeah, that's exactly. But then, you know, like when I first flew over here in December, end of last year, I had 3 seats to myself, stretched out. Best flight I've ever had.
Yeah. See, that's the flight I need to be on, but I won't. I mean, that's just the world. I know that it won't happen for me, and nobody wants to sit beside me for that long. So I'm holding out till I become successful enough that I can buy really good seats. But
they're
that's
expensive.
probably not going to happen. So you said you've learned a lot of life lessons. How so?
Oh, just sort of living on your own. Like it's totally different to living at home. Like I lived in a house with like 5 friends. So, you know, after work, you're always seeing each other, always hanging out. There's always someone there. And then all of a sudden you're in this little van and you're by yourself traveling around the country you don't even know. And people can't understand everything you say. And it's definitely a growing experience, but it's been awesome. Like it's probably the best way to do it. Like I did it in 2023 just out of a Tundra, and my plan was to camp, but it didn't really end up working out that well. It was just going to cost too much money to set up a fridge and everything in it, and end up staying at Airbnbs, and it cost me an arm and a leg. So having the van set up has been unreal. Like I got a fridge in here, a sink, like a cupboard full of groceries and stuff. So it's been probably the best way.
Full of groceries?
Like a cupboard.
Oh, a cupboard. I thought you said something else. I was like, yeah, no, we have cupboards here too. Very good. Sorry. Continue on. I'll disregard.
So yeah, it's been a different life to get used to, and like even going home for 2 months and living over there, working and stuff, and then coming back again, it's like hits you in the face pretty hard back being alone. So
yeah. Do you ever hear voices in that van late at night?
I have not voices, but trembling. I was stark naked in the bed one day, and I was sleeping out the front of a mate's house, and I could hear rustling outside, and I was like, you got to be kidding me. And I was yelling out my buddy's name, Connor, and I got no response, and I thought, someone's in the boats. And I'm freaking out, getting changed, got clothes on real quick, open up the door, and Connor's out there. And I was like, far out, dude, you scared the hell out of me.
So where do you sleep? I mean, in front of your buddy's house? Is it planned out?
Yeah, it's pretty planned out. So I got a guy who I met in 2023. His name's Kyle, and he's a Canadian as well. And he was working the X-Zone booth at the Classic. And I got talking to him, and he's like, man, if you ever need anywhere to stay, you can always pull up at mine. I was like, hell yeah. And he had like a 30-foot camper van and stuff. And so in between the Kongler stuff, I just go back to, he lives in Alabama in Birmingham. And I just sleep in the 30-foot camper, and it was such a good setup, saved me a heap of dollars. And we went fishing a couple of times, and since then we stayed in contact. And when I was looking to come back over, he said, you're obviously welcome to stay here again and everything. And we'll send each other like secondhand boats, like looking at boats I was going to buy and stuff. And he said, you know what? Why don't you just borrow my Ranger? It's like a 2014 Ranger. He said, you can borrow it for the year.
Damn.
Obviously, you just got to pay for any costs and stuff. And I said, hell yeah, like 100%, I'm keen on that. So I put some Garmin screens on there for him. But like for him to do that is absolutely unreal. Like, it just goes to show like how willing some people are to help, and there's still some positive stuff out there.
Yeah. I mean, the man gives you a house and a boat. What do you do in return? Are you like his gardener, or is he just that good a human? This has been an emotional roller coaster. We have Tommy Wood living in a van. Is it stealing Wi-Fi from McDonald's? For the last 8 minutes, we've been battling it out, but it will not stop us from having a good podcast. I have no idea what the hell we were talking about, Tommy. Do you remember?
Yeah, I was talking about how Kyle let me borrow his boat and stuff like that. So
yeah. Well, Kyle, how about Wi-Fi in the future? I mean,
yeah, a little Wi-Fi mode in the car would actually be really good.
Today's high-tech fishing world can be a real pain in the neck, especially if you're running the wrong mounts. Beatdown Outdoors, they bring the graph to you, and they support this podcast and care enough about you to make this a short ad read. Check out Beatdown Outdoors. Now back to the show.
But no, it's amazing people that you meet along the way, and that is truly the greatest thing about this sport, I think. Like,
yeah,
it is the people. Like, and that's what frustrates me about all the internet crap that you hear and that is out there, because ultimately they're some of the best people on earth.
Yeah. It's such a good industry in some senses, because like as soon as you find someone who likes fishing as well, like I never knew this guy, and now we're like best mates, and he's helped me out big time. And that's all just because we're from years ago. We used to love catching fish, and all the way across from the other world. And it's just crazy how opportunities like that can come up. So I definitely wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that. Like I wouldn't be able to afford to buy a boat, a car, and survive all year. So having that opportunity to have this Ranger has been unreal. So
all right. Thanks, Kyle. You're a good guy.
He's a legend.
Hope he doesn't turn out to be an axe murderer. Sounding a little bit too good to be true.
Yeah. I know. I was a little bit worried. I was like, is this actually happening?
Are you checking your air conditioner? Is that why it's so hot? Is that why you're distracted?
Yeah, just making sure I've got the AC button actually on, but
Okay.
I just cranked her up a bit.
All right. So who's Tommy Wood? Before this, who are you? Tell me about your life growing up. And
So I pretty much grew up in the country. There's a place called Gingin in Queensland, Australia. So
Gingin?
Yeah, Gingin. Beautiful place.
Nice.
No, it's a little country town. It's not too bad. But one of the lakes that's close by there is called Lake Mondrian, and that's like probably one of the best barra fisheries in Australia. And my dad, he loves fishing. So he did barramundi guiding and also did offshore guiding for marlin fishing. And ever since a young kid, we always went marlin fishing offshore, did the inshore stuff, barra fishing, and I always got drawn back to going into the lake and going in the bass boat, going chasing barra, these lily pads and trees. Something about it, I loved it. And no matter how many times we went marlin fishing, I always found myself wanting to go back barra fishing. And after the years, there was a TV show that come on called AFC.
Yeah.
And that's actually
that's the first time I ever saw Carl on AFC.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was huge in Australia. And I used to be a huge fan of Carl watching that back in the day. And going from that, seeing Carl do that and a heap of other guys in there, it sort of got me really keen on tournament fishing. And over the years, slowly, did a few tournaments here and there, nothing too serious. But once I started doing ABT, the Australian Barra Tournament, that's how you used to qualify for the AFC. So it had a pretty good name, a pretty well-known sort of league. And thought, you know what, going to jump in this and have a crack. And over the years, got my ass kicked a fair bit and learned a lot as well. But from there, I just fell in love with tournament fishing, how good the highs are. You can go from having the worst day to having one good bite, and it just changes everything. And I was like, man, I've got to figure out a way to do this full time. And that's I think here is the only place you can do it in the States. So.
Were you always a competitive person? Did you compete in anything growing up?
Not totally. I was always sort of a bit more of a team player, really. Did a lot of fishing, a lot of team fishing, back in Australia as well. So, but never really got into sports much at all. In high school, got into surfing a little bit and stuff like that. But I was never huge into sports and real competitive. So it's probably my only downfall is I haven't got that competitive edge.
What do you mean by team sports? What do you mean? What's team fishing?
Oh, we fish in teams and stuff like that. So still got to be competitive, I guess, but
you're still competing against each other.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. But in the team fishing, you're side by side and you're fishing together. But I never really sort of played I played a little bit of footy and stuff like that, but not some of the other guys that played tennis and soccer and stuff like that. I was sort of always fishing and stuff like that in the lake.
Why'd you get into surfing? Chicks?
Yeah. Bit of that.
It's literally why everybody surfs, unless you're female, or anybody plays guitar.
Yeah, literally. No, it's a good lifestyle back home, on the beach and stuff. So all my mates surfed, and if we weren't surfing, we're fishing. If we're not fishing, we're surfing. So it was sort of grew up with it, and yeah.
You guys have some real surf, big surf, right?
Yeah, yeah.
How big are we talking?
Oh, it gets massive. I don't go out when it's that big. My mates surf some pretty big stuff, but I'm more just out there for the fun stuff. But we got
chicks.
Just up the road, it's Noosa Heads, which is one of the best sort of right-hand waves in Queensland. And when you get a cyclone come through, those waves get huge, up to 8-10 foot.
Damn.
Yeah, they're big.
Have you ever wiped out real bad surfing?
Yeah, I've had a couple of bad ones. It gets pretty scary sometimes. That's why I sort of laid back. I just sort of surf like longer boards now and smaller waves just for the fun of it. But like when it's bad, like when it's big out there and stuff goes wrong, it can go wrong real quick. So
yeah. Plus, there's a lot of different critters. I mean, I faced my fear this year and I swam with sharks. I swam with some bull sharks and some
no way
tiger sharks, and it was awesome. But I would not do it in Australia where they have great whites and stuff like that. Do you ever have any encounters?
I haven't really had too many encounters. Only one that happened was Yeah.
I mean, you should have just totally lied. And
be
the Australian America wants, damn it, Tommy.
Yeah. Yeah, the only one that actually ever happened was one I didn't even know about. It was funny. Like, we went surfing after school one day, and it was like windy day, late afternoon. We definitely shouldn't have been out there. And the waves weren't that good. We ended up coming back in, and as we're walking back to the car, this guy come up to us. He's like, "Oh, like I can see why you guys got the hell out of there." And I was like, "Yeah, it was getting pretty bad." And he's like, "No, that shark that was like next to you, did you see that?" And I'm like, "Nah." He's like, "There was a fin like right behind you for like 2 minutes." And I was like, "Are you kidding me?" So we left at a good time, but like I didn't even see it. So it just goes to show how sneaky they can be.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I did a little research and swim with sharks and stuff. And here's the whole thing. Surfing's dangerous. Whatever they say, because the shark can't see. Like when you're out in the ocean and you're swimming with a shark sees you. A bull shark's very smart. I mean, we look at them as aggressive because how we've always seen them around fishing or stuff. But when they're in the surf, they're at a disadvantage and bad stuff can happen. Some people think bad stuff happens anywhere. While we're on Australian stereotypes, tell me about kangaroos. Are they a pain in the ass?
Yeah, they are. they're dangerous because like you can be driving anywhere and they just jump out and they're like deer almost. But they're a weird animal. Like just when I was back home, I've never done this, and actually I don't think many people have done this. There's these kangaroos around this campsite at this lake, and usually they keep their distance. Like they usually hang out around the houses and stuff, and you can like try and walk up to them, but they'll just sort of hop away. But this one come right up to our door, and I was just like feeding him biscuits and like bread and stuff, and he was hanging out like right next to us like a mate. And they're interesting creatures for sure.
What about the ones I see videos of? There's some that are like all bowed up, like the ones that like they look like a 60-year-old dude hopped up on testosterone in Hollywood. I mean, they're just all. Is that real or is that like why do they get like that?
Yeah, no, they're real. They're like the big dogs. We see a lot of little ones around like the campsites, but the ones out like in the outback and stuff and up north, they're massive. I think it's the way they got to walk because they sort of like, they don't always hop. They sometimes get down on their front arms and they got to like hold their weight and sort of walk along the ground a little bit and they just get jacked up.
They do. They look intimidating.
Oh, yeah.
So how often would you see a kangaroo in Australia?
Probably, well, if you're in the city, you're not going to see as many, but like
as many. So there is some in the city.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes like in a park or something, you'll see them every now and then. But like if you're going out fishing, you're going to see them every day, like 100%. They're just everywhere.
So more than you see deer here, probably.
Yeah, I'd definitely say so. Yeah, like they're like they're actually a bit of a problem. Like I think people actually like shoot them over there as like a pesting to try and get rid of them. So
yeah, do people eat kangaroo?
People do eat it, but it's usually more so sold for like dog food and stuff.
Yeah, it's like squirrels here. Some people eat squirrels, but not everyone.
I love squirrels. They are the coolest little animals.
See, I'm intrigued by kangaroos because they're so. And you're probably like, "Oh, little squirrels are cool." You probably don't have animals like that because you have poisonous snakes.
Exactly. Yeah. That's why the kangaroos get so buff to defend the stakes.
Yeah. Damn. Wow. So How much did winning the Open help you?
Oh, it was more so like huge for like my confidence and like really got me going. Like it surprisingly didn't help me get any sponsorship over here or anything. Like it sort of didn't help much there, but like, you know, got my name out there, lifted my profile a little bit and stuff like that. So it was definitely a good move, but like winning that, because my goal was just to cash a check in at least one of the 4 events I went in. And that was the 3rd event we did, and ended up cashing a check in each event. And then that 3rd event won it. And I was just like over the moon. And that's when I started thinking, oh yeah, okay, maybe I can do this, and got the blood flowing for sure.
So how is the sponsor world for you? Are most of your supporters from Australia, or other than Kyle, of course, Team Kyle?
Yeah. Yeah, I got most of my support's from Australia. Like one of my biggest sponsors is it's a company called Samaki. So they do like fishing rods and lures. They also import like X-braid line from Japan, decoy and stuff like that. So, and I actually got to know the owner, Josh, pretty well, and we're like really good mates now. And we fish team tournaments for years now, and I'm sort of growing pretty close with him. So we're sort of developing rods together, baits and stuff like that for Australia. And when I said I was keen to go to the US, he said, dude, I'm 100% behind you. He said he's actually been thinking about bringing Samaki to the States. So he's me and him paired up, and we designed like a range of rods for the States here. We just got the first demo rods in now, and hopefully in the next couple of years we'll have them in the US here.
So he's your Ian Miller, basically, similar to Carl's relationship with the rod manufacturer, correct?
Yeah.
Same deal. The blueprint
crazy, hey?
It's easy to follow. So now you just got to suffer for like what, the next 10 years?
Yeah. Oh, I hope I don't have to go through the stuff that Carl went through. Yeah, he learned the hard way with everything. Like everyone got to see it from Australia too, like what he went through. And it was a rough road, that's for sure.
What is Carl's reputation like in Australia? Like, what do people think of what he's done? Do they realize, how big a deal it is over there?
Yeah, I think people he's a super well-known guy in Australia. Like anyone that fishes knows Carl. And I don't think people sort of understand how hard the stuff was that he went through. Like until people come over here from Australia and sort of seeing the classic and seeing how big it was, and especially me coming over here, seeing the stuff that he would have had to go through with the Opens and getting your life set up, like he didn't know anyone. So he was just on his own, living out of a truck. And I think people didn't really understand like what he was actually going through. So, but Australia was always behind him too, which is good. So, and you can still see now that like today, everyone coming over from Australia to watch the classic, like it's pretty cool.
It is very cool. It's incredible. And still, the first one was a big deal, obviously, but now he's been to 3 in a row, hopefully 4 in a row by the end of this year. And it's still amazing to me, how many Australians show up and how vocal they are. But they're kind of world renowned for being, you look at I look at Australia, Ireland. There's some countries that, Ireland isn't even a very big country, but they're very vocal. If somebody's in one of their worlds, like in competing in anything, they're very vocal. And the Aussies are like that too, are they not?
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Yeah. Like soon as you got someone going overseas to do something, you're going to get some pretty good support. But yeah, it's like I've definitely had some good support too from the Australians as well. Like it's pretty crazy. Like everyone's backing you, which is cool. So
yeah. So what makes you, when you've seen everything that Carl's overcome, does that excite you or does that worry you? Like what makes you think that you can do this?
It does worry me. Like, yeah, he's told me some stories as well. Like, I don't know if he's told everything, but like some of the stories he tells me, I'm like, man, that's like eventually some stuff like this is going to happen to me. And that's the sort of stuff where like you got to sort of really put your head down and work through it. Otherwise, you're just going to fall over. So it's kind of like you just got to get through it, and there's no other choice really. So if I want to make this happen, I've got to get through those hard times and see how it goes. But it's definitely good having him there, because he's told me a lot of stuff already. Like, make sure you go do things a certain way, go about it this way and stuff like that. And it's been good, but there still is a lot of stuff like being naive and young. Like, you still got to learn those lessons yourself. Like, one of the biggest things he told me when I first come over here is he said, never stay in a hotel that has a number in it. And I was like, yeah, okay, no worries. Like, I took it on board a little bit. And after an open, I had like nowhere to stay. And I'm like, it was like 11 p.m. I'm trying to find somewhere to stay. And Motel 6 was the only one that was open. And it was in Jackson, Mississippi. And it was an interesting night.
Yeah. Well, there goes any chance of us getting sponsored by Hotel 6.
Yeah. Or any other motel with a number in their name.
The other thing that I know about hotels, if it says it's the best, it almost, maybe Best Western's an exception to that, but like when you see America's Best in,
yeah,
Missouri's greatest hotel, it never is. It almost never is.
Oh yeah, 100%. I don't even go near motels anymore. Like, I stay out in the sticks or like an Airbnb.
Yeah.
If it's near a lake, you're kind of safe, but I just try and stay away from the cities.
Yeah. What is the biggest lesson fishing over here has taught you?
Probably biggest thing I think is I sort of fish too fast in a tournament. Like, I've had to learn to slow down a lot, and it's been hard because the lakes are so big, and when stuff's not happening, I'm like thinking, okay, maybe I've got to run over here because the wind's blowing this way, but I've had to slow down, and like I spend an extra 10 minutes on a spot and I start to pick up something. And the more time you run around, like, I'm just wasting time. But I've learned, slow down, fish out your areas that you know there's fish. Like, they're not going to go too far. They're either going to move a little bit offshore or inshore. And it seems to be every open, if I do sort of pretty bad on the first day, I just go fish some new stuff or some stuff that I fished before, and I just milk it for what it's worth and end up catching more fish out of the spot than I did the day before. And I think, okay, maybe I'm just fishing too fast. And like, you watch some of these guys at scope, and like, once they're on those fish, they're on those fish. Like, they don't jump around a lot. Like, they know when they're on the good fish. So it's been definitely interesting, and sad enough to say, like, you do have to use live scope to be competitive now. Like, because it is available and the rules and stuff that we're all allowed to use live scope, if you go choose to beat the bank, you're just going to have a very unreliable tournament, in the sense that you might catch 18 pounds one day, and the next day you might catch 2 fish. And I love catching fish off scope and everything, but I absolutely love fishing the bank, which has definitely hurt me. So, like, there's nothing I love better than rolling down the bank with a chatterbait and just goes, loads up, boat flipping like 3-pounders, other than slinging a minnow. And I'll like go through my practice. Like, some of the days we can practice are up to 13 hours like of daylight. So I'll go there, scope for like 10 hours, maybe catch 1 or 2. And I'm like thinking, I don't know if this is going to work. And then I go beat the bank, catch a 2.5. And I'm like, and that's kind of hurt me. So I keep resorting to fishing the bank, where you watch some of the younger guys that fish college and stuff, and they've already learned that lesson, and they're just focusing in on scope. And no matter how many fish they catch in practice, they figure it out enough to catch 5 fish a day. And I think using that live scope will keep you consistent, because I just don't have the background in largemouth fishing to go, okay, the lakes come up 2 meters or 6 foot. I know this creek's going to be good because of the way it lays out, and I know how to flip a jig. Like, a lot of this stuff, like, I learned how to flip a cypress tree at Tom Bigby. So, like, I'm all like learning this stuff on the fly, which is good. Like, I can learn to pick it up pretty quick, but all those guys have got that experience to fish the bank, whereas I'm sort of like, my best opportunity to do well in the opens is to like focus in on scope and use that to my advantage. So it's definitely been hurting me a little bit not using it. So I think these next 3 events, I'm just going to zone in on it for sure.
What is your life like? I mean, just hearing you explain that kind of gives me kind of an idea of just all the stuff that you're just not used to seeing and the learning curve you got to go through. I mean, you fish, but
Yeah.
I mean, there's navigation, just everything you got to go through. What is your life like? Like when you're not competing, are you just perpetually on the water?
Yeah. I'm fishing here as much as I can. Like in between events, I've been fishing team tournaments with Kyle and stuff, and it's all been learning. And like as soon as I'm back in the van, I got like videos up. Like for probably the last 10 years, I've been watching like every wire to fish or everything on YouTube and reading everything online, trying to figure out how to learn these techniques the best I can in a short period of time. And stuff like that Open that I won at Wheeler Lake in 2023 as a co-angler, I never even caught a bass on a jig. And he goes, yep, we're going to go fishing stumps today out in 20 foot. And I was like, righto, I'll tie on a jig. And, caught him the first day on a jig. And I was like, sweet, I'm feeling good for the next day. My next partner the next day says we're going in like 3 foot and less, throwing a swim jig, spinnerbaits. And I've thrown spinnerbaits a fair bit, but I've never even tied on a swim jig, never even rigged one up. And like that night, I'm like looking at stuff online, trying to figure out, like obviously I'd seen a little bit before, but went out that day and then caught like 10 pounds on a swim jig with 3 fish. And it's just like, it's been like that the whole time. Just, you got to learn on the fly and be like, get uncomfortable with your situation and learn.
That must be an incredible high. Like to literally be like, yeah, I've never done this before, and then go win a tournament doing it. Like, how do you stop from being like, how old are you?
26 at the moment.
The 26-year-old version of me holds that trophy and screams out to the world, I've never even done this before. I've never even done, wait till I figure out what I'm doing. Like,
oh yeah.
How do you do? Maybe not quite. But
Yeah.
I mean, a wrestler version of me would do that. That's got to be an incredible high to, when you figure out a new technique or something new, there's a high to that. I think that's what makes us all love this, what we do. But to actually win a tournament doing some of that stuff, I mean, that is freaking ridiculous.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like I'd never even seen a bass like blow up on a swim jig before in real life, and I was like, "Whoa, that is crazy!" And then like you hook into it, you're ripping him over lily pads, and then, but it's been like that the whole time. And I've been lucky enough that I've met some good guys along fishing the opens and stuff. And I'm rooming with like Jack York and Dalton Smith and Sam Hangy, and they've all done like super well in the past. And I think Jack York actually almost made the elites last year. So, and they've been unreal.
Yeah.
Like I'm going into these events, like no idea where to even start. And they go, dude, maybe try this tomorrow. Like we've been catching some fish doing this way. And so it's been good to have like those guys in the back there helping me out as well. That's definitely helped the learning curve speed up. But yeah, other than that, like if I was on my own, I'd be definitely struggling a little bit.
What body of water's been the most intimidating for you?
They're all pretty intimidating. I think this next one coming up, Chesapeake Bay, is going to be the most intimidating one because,
yeah.
I've fished total stuff back home, but I've never caught a large amount of bass out of a top fishery, so it's like all fresh.
Yeah.
Avco not only makes incredible outdoor clothing, but they care about anglers with their 10% pledge. Avco and the Shed family donate at least 10% of the company's profits to conservation and making fishing better. Now back to the show.
That to me, I think, is one of the things that is so, and I mean, it's for the elite guys, for anybody, but like the tournament anglers don't get enough credit. Like it would take the average human a week just to figure out how to navigate. Like, if you travel with other people on the water.
Yeah.
I went to a buddy of mine who, rented a place on an island once, and we got lost every time leaving. It was the week before it was like, oh yeah, now we know how to get here. Obviously it's before GPS, but that part of it has to be just wild.
Yeah. Yeah. There's all like different markers over here and everything. Like, so I had to learn all that sort of stuff. Doing the boat as safety certificate anyway, but like yeah, it's just crazy. And then like even driving on the other side of the road is crazy enough. Like getting pretty good at like changing up each side of the car and each side of the road now. But when I first come over here, like man, that was scary.
Yeah, I imagine.
Yeah.
So what is the ultimate dream?
End goal is to like do well enough at the Opens, qualify for the elites, and make a career out of it full time, and move over here eventually. Like my dream's always been to have like a ranch in America with a big private lake on it, fish tournaments for a living, and have like my own little private lake out the back with bass in it, and that's the end goal. So
it's a damn good dream.
Yeah. It's been like that for a long time too. Like I've always wanted to have like a freaking lake on my property. That'd be awesome. But it's not easy to get to there, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so how long do you think, I mean, are you there in 3 years, 5 years, 10 years? Like what do you, in your head, are you there next year?
I think I definitely won't be getting a ranch next year. I think that's going to be...
No, I don't mean the ranch. I mean making it on the elites. And
yeah. If I make the elites
it'll be a while
this year,
for the ranch. Sorry.
Yeah.
To break it to you, but a lot of competition in pro fishing nowadays.
Oh, yeah. And you got to have a lot of money to get to that level. So,
yeah.
But, yeah, like if I make the elites this year, yeah, I'll be having a super good year. Like I was pretty confident coming over here. But now after being here for like 6 months, I've sort of realized how much I sort of need to learn and how far behind I actually am. So I think after next year, like if I get another full year into that, like this year has been like a really good learning year, finding my feet, getting comfortable. But one more year here, I think I could be getting pretty close to making the elites.
That's pretty incredible. And the way the elites is with requalification, I mean, you don't want to make it too early either. Like, let's say you made it this year. Would that be too soon for you, do you think?
Oh, 100%. If I make it this year, obviously I'll go, but like I would be well out of my comfort zone. But the thing is too, I've been like in that sort of space for the last 3 years, like always been out of my comfort zone, new lakes, new fish, and I think I'll definitely struggle, like, but whatever happens will happen and it'll be what's meant to be. So we'll see what happens, but.
Got any tattoos? Any ink?
No tattoos. My dad would kill me if I got a tattoo for sure.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
He's in Australia. You'll be fine.
Yeah. It's a long way.
No, I don't. So you're never getting ink?
No, I haven't really got the money to spend on it. It's expensive to get a tattoo.
No kidding. I don't have any either. But I'm not 26. 26-year-olds. You're in a rare group, dude.
I'll say you just broke up a little bit.
I said I'm not 26. There's not a lot of 26-year-olds that do not have tattoos or plans. I mean, your generation wants to deface their body.
Yeah, like all my mates have got tattoos on them. Like my girlfriend, she's got tattoos all over her arms and stuff like that. Yeah, it's crazy. Everyone's getting them, that's for sure. But I'm too worried I'll get something stupid 5 years later. I'm thinking, what the hell have I done that for? That's the main reason.
That can happen. I believe nobody should get a tattoo till they're at least 25. Unless it's like a memorial or something. Like then in that situation, like you can do it. But
100%.
And here's why I know that. Because at one time in my life, I wanted a tattoo. Like I really thought about getting it. And I was probably a drunken night away from saying, let's do it. And I never did. Yeah. But now I look back and that tattoo would have been the barbed wire arm bar, which is the worst tattoo a human can have. Sorry if you have it. I mean, most people are maybe not the worst tattoo, but the most regrettable tattoo a human can have. And that's what I would have got. So don't get a tattoo till you're at least 25, maybe 30.
Yeah. And it sucks to get them off. Like you got to get that laser treatment and man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not ideal.
Pete Davidson is getting all his you know Pete Davidson from Saturday Night Live? He's dated like everybody. He's getting them all taken off. He's going to be clean Pete, I guess. I don't know.
I didn't even know he had tattoos.
Oh, he's inked up. Horrible. I mean, his dad died in 9/11. He's got a lot of issues. And sometimes, yeah. He once told a joke. And he said, he got off a flight and said, this is my worst flying experience ever. And my dad died in 9/11. Which is
that's a pretty bad.
Horrible.
Yeah.
So I want you to make it, dude. I mean, I think the tour could use another Australian. I mean, I've been fighting with Carl to come out from a land down under, and he will not. I mean, he just does it, sprinkles it in here and there. Will you be the Australian that America wants?
I'll give it a go. That's for sure.
You heard it here, Carl. You better start using that song, or young Tommy Wood is going to come take it.
Yeah, I love the green and gold jersey up there on the classic if I make it.
How come Australians dislike kangaroos, but when they come here, they seem to like them? Like it's embraced as a good symbol.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of just like a stereotypical thing that I think it's a little bit worn out almost, because it's like, for us, it's just a normal animal. It's kind of like everyone's like, oh, like it's like me saying, like, you guys got squirrels over here. That's crazy. Like, are they everywhere? But it's like, yeah, it's just like a normal animal. So us living with it, we're probably just used to it. We're like, oh, yeah, it's nothing like abnormal for us. But then again, like everyone loves them. Like you bring a toy koala or kangaroo over here and everyone's freaking out. They love it.
Yeah. What is the question you are so tired of answering from people when they meet you as an Australian wannabe professional angler? Maybe you're too nice to answer that. If I question, what is the question you get asked the most?
Do you like a shrimp on the barbie? Oh. I'm like, man, you can't be asking that. We don't even call shrimp.
Freaking Paul Hogan.
Yeah, I know. Everyone says it too. It's like it's a prawn.
Jeff, so that's not even a line. Like shrimp on the barbie is not anything you'll ever hear somebody is. Why wouldn't he just say? What would an Australian say rather than shrimp on a barbie? What would you say?
Say having a couple of prawns, maybe.
Why didn't he just do that?
Oh no, I can't believe. I think there's probably an American director, and they probably said they're not going to understand what a prawn is. You better say shrimp.
Who is the greatest Australian hero, would you say?
God, there's a few athletes around from Australia, around the world. Like there's that guy Cameron Smith, who's a golfer and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I wouldn't really know. There's a lot of Australians that like that actor from Australia. What's his name again? He's like in a few. He's like a blonde dude.
I know. I'm asking you the questions. I mean, you're the Australian. You're supposed to know. I mean, I'm from Canada. Ask me about Celine Dion. I got you. Michael J. Fox, Jim Carrey, Pamela Anderson. I got them all covered.
I've been too focused on bass fishing.
What's that? You're too focused on bass fishing? Yeah, you are. Do you need to be obsessed to make it at this?
Oh, I think so, yeah. Yeah, 100%. Like, a lot of my mates in Australia don't even, like, understand some of the techniques we use over here because it's just, like, not something you see. Like, unless you're fully obsessed with it, watching videos and surrounding yourself with it, I think, yeah, you're never going to really see it. But you got to be obsessed. That's 100%.
Who's your guy? Like, if you've watched for years, who's the guy who was your hero fishing wise growing up?
Like, definitely, like, Carl's obviously a big influence, but also Brandon Polonic. Like, since he started that YouTube stuff and, like, watching his career, like, it's pretty unbelievable what he's done. and he's had all that YouTube stuff out for years. So like from Australia, you could watch it all so like readily. It was so readily available, and he's definitely the man. I like even my girlfriend. Like she loves Brandon Boledick.
Well, he's a good person to love. What's your favorite movie?
God, trying to think. I think there's this one. There's this one called "This Is the End." Or
This is the end.
Yeah, like this is. I can't remember the exact name of it, but it's like where a bunch of comedians are like acting as themselves in this house, and pretty much the world falls apart, and they're all stuck together. It's pretty funny, but I'm pretty sure it's called "This Is the End."
Yeah, you don't watch a lot of movies, I take it. You're not good at naming actors or movie names.
Oh yeah, no, I'm like, I barely watch TV anymore.
What's the coolest pet you've ever owned?
Probably a pet barramundi. I've had a few of them.
Damn. How big did you let it grow?
Oh, they get pretty big pretty quick. Like in a year, they'll grow, like when they're fed pretty well, they'll grow like 1 millimeter a day, which is by the end of it, like by the end of a year, they'll be 1 foot long. So like you got to be able to either have a tank big enough or let them go. And I've actually had a pretty big one before that I caught, and it was 106 centimeters. So that was just over probably 3 foot long sort of thing. And we put it in like this big water tank, and like we were hand feeding it and stuff. It was unreal. They're a cool fish.
Do you have your graph set on feet or meters?
Crazy enough, feet. But like temperature, I'm still trying to figure out the Fahrenheit. That does not make sense to me. Like when you were saying 95 degrees before, it just went straight over my head.
See, and we use Celsius in Canada, but I spend so much time in America, and in fishing, I always go, it's weird. Certain things, in Canada, it's confusing because people will use millimeters and centimeters and some stuff, but they don't go to a store and ask for a certain centimeter length of board. They go and ask for have a 4 foot long board, or it's some things we use and some things we don't. But
do you guys use like kilometers in the state?
Yeah,
Canada?
It's all kilometers. Yeah,
that's crazy. So
it's,
your speed on your car is that kilometers
dude,
an
the
hour?
history of America, 250 years ago, a bunch of people moved to a land and said, we're going to make our own rules. We're going to build our own castles.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it makes a lot of sense to me. And I mean, they've done a pretty stinking good job. So,
yeah, no, it's a cool country. Like there's so much opportunity over here, which is crazy. Like the fact that you can like fish tournaments for a living, like the golf, you can surf professionally over here. Like there is so much opportunity. If you want to do something, this is the place you can get it done. If you're willing enough to put the time in and dedicate your life to it, you'll get there. But you definitely can't do stuff like this in Australia.
Why?
I just don't think we have like we don't have the population to grow a sport big enough where that it can get funded big enough.
Yeah.
Like I think Texas has more people in it than Australia.
Damn.
Just the state alone. Yeah.
Wow. Definitely more guns.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's something that's been crazy to get used to, is that like having guns everywhere.
Yeah.
That stuff's crazy.
And a lot of people who grow up around guns also think it's crazy to not have them. You know what I mean? Like it all depends on.
I've run a Yamaha outboard for over 30 years. It has got me home safe each and every time. If you enjoy this podcast, remember, Yamaha supports it and they care enough about you to make this ad read very short. Now back to the show.
I mean, we started this podcast with forward-facing sonar. Might as well finish it on guns. I mean, what else? You want to talk about religion next?
Yeah. Oh, no, let's not go down that road.
No, we'll really upset some people.
Yeah.
No, it's awesome to watch what you're doing. And if there's anything I can ever do to help you, I just hope to have you on the Elite Series stage one day. I mean, it's amazing what you're willing to lay on the line to chase this dream.
No, thanks, Dave. Appreciate it. It's been a pleasure coming on the podcast here too. When you asked me that, I was like so shocked because you get some top caliber guys on here. So I really appreciate it.
Well, no, I mean, I've wanted to do it for a while, and I mean, I wish I was better planned out, but it was literally just like, I think you had made some posts about being back here, and it came from there that I was like, oh yeah, we've got to get Tommy on at some point, and you're welcome here at any time. I mean, I know what I want to talk to you about. Dude, you love freaking snow.
Dude, that's
when you
crazy.
Got here. Like I was as a Canadian, as a man who's buried in friggin' snow, I was enthralled by your excitement for cold weather.
Oh, it was crazy. I'd never seen it before. Like, I was staying in the camper at Kyle's house, and he comes knocking on the door at 5 a.m. and I'm like, far out, like, what the hell's going on? And he's like, dude, you got to get outside now. And oh my God, that stuff is so cool. I was frothing hard. That was awesome. But like seeing frozen water everywhere, like that was only stuff I ever seen on movies and like TV and stuff before as a kid. Like I'd like pick up a bucket of water and the top like 4 inches is frozen hard. Like just crazy. Like I'd go up an arm of a creek and there's like ice just straight across the end of the creek. Like I was like, this is insane. Just totally different. But like, we get snow in Australia. I just never been down that far. So
yeah. Snow's cute when it goes away by itself. That's what I have to say. It's when it snows, when you snow here and you're like, yeah, this will be, my future for the next 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
But no, it is pretty amazing. I think that's got to be an advantage to you in some ways competing here because everything's so fresh. Like, I mean, it's like when anybody goes on vacation anywhere, they're like, I want to move there because they're seeing everything from different eyes, but that's your perpetual existence while you're in America.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just like everything's exciting. I've got a clean slate coming over here and like everything's new and like seeing that snow, like every day I wake up, I'm like so excited to go do something different and catch a fish on a new lure and try a new technique because there's like 20 different techniques you got to learn and like get confident in. And like if it's a 12, 14 inch bass, I'm still like frothing to catch one on like a different lure. I'm like, that's cool. Let's do it again. Like I just want to keep catching them and stuff like waking up, seeing snow for the first time. It did get old though, pretty quick. Like once it started going away and everything was all sludgy and messy, like I was like, yeah, I can see how this gets old pretty quick. But it's definitely such an unreal experience being over here. It's like crazy.
Some stuff's different. One of them is something you just mentioned, frothing. You don't ever hear somebody say, I'm frothing to go fishing. I'm frothing to go on a podcast.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to get that word over here pretty strong now, but I got a funny story. Like when I first came over here in 2023 as a co-angler, this is how I met Jack York, because I actually got paired with him at Bugs Island. And he had never obviously talked to anyone Australian. And like we were fishing all day and I'd say something to him and he'd just be like, hell yeah. And I was like, I don't think he knows anything I said. And at the end of the day, he's like, dude, you're a cool dude. Like we'll follow each other on Instagram and all that sort of stuff. And he like commented on my post. He said, you're a dog. Like, DAWG.
Yeah.
And like if you call someone a dog in Australia, that's like saying something pretty bad, like you're a bad person. And he commented that and I thought, dude, I thought we had a good day. And I was like, oh, that's pretty rough. And I see him next time, I'm like, what's with the comment, dude? He's like, nah, dog means like you're a homie. And I'm like, But he's like a full East Texas gangster cowboy. It's so funny. Every time I'm on the phone to him, it's a funny conversation. And he's working on his Australian accent. He's starting to get all the lingo down, and it's a good time.
Yeah. He's. I mean, you both need to get here on the Elite Series. When Carl first came, the C word in America is the most offensive word anybody can say. It's a C word for a female anatomy part, but in Australia. it's just a word. Like it gets thrown around. I mean, it can mean multiple things. There's good C's.
Yeah.
There's shit C's. There, you know what I mean? Like it can be a compliment. It can be an insult. But when Carl, so we used to at Bass Live when it first started, we had like a chat board that you could comment on under it. And when Carl first came in contention, the amount of people that were like, just show these C's how it's done. And the internet exploded. Like people were like, whoa, what is Australia saying? So there is some different lingos, but
oh yeah, it's funny. Like everyone, like it sounds more offensive when an American says it, I reckon. Like it's because we sort of say stuff like half-assed. Like we don't really give it. Like I don't want to say it, but like if we say it, it's like a really quick sort of. You almost don't say the T at the end that much. Like it's not a very pronounced letter.
You can say it. We'll beep it out if it's offensive.
I'm not going to do it.
Come on, you want to get it out. I mean, you've got so many C's built up in you. You've been away from home for a week.
Oh, no, I get them out. It's all right. But like I'll hear one of the boys say it from like Jack or like Sam, and I'm like, dude, that does not sound right.
Yeah, it's a little different. Oh, yeah. It one of the proudest moments ever of my wife. After Gussie won the Classic, there was a whole bunch of Australians around, and the C word was getting dropped like crazy. And Carl notices, I don't know if it was Carl or Gussie. One of them notices that Sarah, my wife, is like standing right there. And they turn around and they're like, I'm sorry, I didn't know you were there. And Sarah responds, she goes, I think it was Carl. It was Carl or Gussie, whoever it was. They'll let me know. We'll know by the end of this. But they turn around and they're like, "Oh, sorry, Sarah." And she goes, "Oh, it's okay. I'm a I'm not a." So I was proud of her. That's one of the many moments that made me realize I love my wife.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But happy trails. Put your air conditioning back on, and we'll be in touch with you soon. So whenever you see, let's throughout the year. Here, I'm going to challenge you. Next time you run into something crazy like snow or something you've never done, let's just have a Tommy Wood drop in on the podcast. Like, I mean, you could just record me a 1 minute.
Yeah.
Hey,
hell yeah.
Here's what's going on. Where in the world is Tommy Wood? We will just throw to you as a segment, and that'll be how this show can hopefully help build your brand a little bit. But as you travel around, it can be anything. It can be an odd place you stayed. It can be a tournament you won. It can be a mishap, a good thing, a bad thing, a big fish. Whatever. Just whenever you send them to me, we'll put them up.
I'm keen for that. Does squirrel encounters count?
Oh. You cut out at the very end. You were keen for
a squirrel encounter. Does that count?
What?
A squirrel encounter?
Yes. Squirrel encounters count. Anything counts.
Hell
anything. Yeah. Where in the world is Tommy Wood? It'll be a segment we'll just randomly throw up whenever you send them to me. So
I'm in 100%. Let's do it.
I mean, if you want to send them every week, send them every week. You want to send them every month, send them every month. Every 6 months, whatever you want. We'll see how keen and frothing you are, mate.
So good.
All right. Next tournament's Chesapeake. You're heading there right now?
Yep. I've got to be out another 5 hours on the road. So we start practice tomorrow morning. And hopefully this one's not going to be too harsh on us. And then we got, I think, 2 or 3 days after that, we're heading to St. Lawrence. And then a week after that, Leech Lake. It's all sort of happening in the next 3 weeks. So it's going to be a busy couple of weeks.
Awesome. Well, keep your eye on Tommy Wood coming to the Bassmaster Elite Series very soon.
Cool. Thanks, mate.
So there you have it. Tommy Wood. I hope you enjoyed getting to know him. And the good news is if you did, there's going to be more of it. Stay tuned for Where in the World is Tommy Wood. It's going to be very cool. And speaking of which, what a friggin' handle. My name's Tommy Wood. I mean, I'm frothing to have him on the Elite Series is what I am. And I hope you are frothing too. Tommy Wood has already accomplished a lot to overcome everything, to be here. He's already the only Australian ever to win a Bassmaster Open. He did that from the back of the boat. A great story. Thank you for watching this. Make sure to follow him, support Tommy Wood, because you guys can support some stuff. Speaking of support, holy crap. The YouTube channel just passed a week ago. 500 million views. That's right. 500 million with a B. Over 500 million views on this YouTube channel because of you guys. Whether you watch the underwater shorts, whether you watch the Facts of Fishing TV show, whether you watch this podcast, thank you. That being said, I mean, we'd like to make it to a full belly, and we're not going to get there without you guys. So make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all those things to help stroke the algorithm. Go fishing. Have a great week. Enjoy being as always. And until next time, hey, Bob Cobb, why don't you take it away?
Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, because Bob Cobb of the Bassmasters told you to. You hear?